Welcome everybody, I am Jeff Barton and you are watching the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week and thank you very much for tuning in. We try to bring a perspective to the show as well as show you how different things in the Valley affect real estate prices, the availability of product, the financing for real estate, and of course opportunities that you might see if you want to buy or sell real estate. The market is tethering towards the end of this particular 8 to 10 year run, and I want to go into that right now. What makes a buy a great buy? Obviously it's buy low, sell high. Everybody knows that, and it's one of the most basic principles in the real estate market. But how do you gauge that in this current market? Now, as everyone knows, this month we have seen a tremendous rise in prices based on year to date, meaning that last year at this time it was a certain number and this year at this time it's 16% higher. How did that happen? Well, when we get to the end of each and every one of these long 8 to 10 year runs, we usually see a product that is scarce. You can't find great real estate. As a matter of fact, there's less than 200 properties in Las Vegas under $200,000. Now, if you had said that 5 or 6 years ago, you would have seen 1,000, 1,500 properties like that. So if you're in the market to try to flip a house, if you're looking to buy something now and sell it within 2 to 5 years, how are you going to plan out what your strategy is to make sure that you don't lose money? Obviously, the game in real estate is to, again, buy low, sell high. Or if you're one of these people that wants to buy and stay, although in Vegas, as everybody knows, 40% of the people who own real estate here are investors. And they're investors mostly from California, but certainly from all over the world. And we have a lot of Asian buyers in town. Anybody that knows that will tell you that Asian money influencing real estate prices in the Valley here has been high for the past 5 or 6 years. I wanted to talk now about the bond market. When you're looking to whether we're going to have a recession and when we're going to have a recession, the bond market describes for us what the availability of capital is in the lending, in the mortgage business. Now, why do I say that? Government sells debt. In order to sell the debt, they have to make it attractive by giving you yield. Now, what is yield? I sell you a bond, I tell you within X amount of years you're going to make 5 or 6%, or 2%, or 1%, whatever that is. That's called a yield. And these mortgage-backed securities are bought and sold a lot on the secondary market and also in the stock market. So if you see a yield that begins to flatten out 10-year versus 30-year, meaning that the yield that you're going to see in 30 years is the same in 10 years, that means we're getting closer to a recession. And that's where we are right now. Anyway, we have a great lineup for you today. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We'll be right back.
Are you experiencing hair loss? We have the solution with no drugs, no surgery, and no side effects. Experience 100% pain-free results with SuperGrow Laser Cap System, featuring 272 professional-grade lasers that make your hair thicker and fuller naturally. Use it 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and notice your hair growth in as little as 3 months. Visit online at irevivelaser.com to order your SuperGrow Laser Cap today and experience unbelievable results. irevivelaser.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in and watching the show each and every week. We try to get an update on real estate market conditions here in the Valley, and with that is Rebecca Fitzgerald. Rebecca?
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, the market here is really heating up along with the weather. It's getting pretty hot, which I'm not looking forward to the summer months. But as far as the real estate market goes, it's going to look like very on the up and up, and it looks like the houses are going to be moving. The crazy thing is there's no supply out here. There's less than a normal market conditions is a 6-month supply, and there's less than a 2.5-month supply here. Well, the interesting thing about it is we overbuilt in 2006, 2007, and then the market crashed. And so now the fact is not only do we not have a supply, we're rebuilding again. So people are moving here in like masses, which I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of the conditions in California are outpricing people, and plus people are retiring, they're downsizing, different things like that. Last month we sold between 3,500 and 4,000 houses, and there's another active 6,500, which is really low for, especially since last year it's less than 24% less than the market was last year, which means that people are moving here, people are buying again, the market's recovering, and it's it's a great thing to say. It's a great condition to be in. And right now our average price per square foot is 142, which this same time last year was around 100. So that not only is the market, houses are moving, the prices are going up, and the market is healthier and healthier, and it looks like it's going to be a really positive summer. That's all I have for today. Back to you, Jeff.
Thanks very much, Rebecca. That's terrific news, and obviously everybody who's listening is grateful for the fact that we know a little bit more now than we did. Anyway, I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we'll be right back.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in. We're on each and every week, and we bring to you great guests, information, things you're going to need to know. Hey, look, it's springtime. Buyers, sellers, everything that's going on in the real estate market, whether you're a professional or whether you're an investor, or whether you're somebody that's just looking for opportunities in the market. Las Vegas is one of the hottest real estate market in the country, and I'm very happy once again to bring John Lee on the show, who has talked about alternative ways of financing real estate investment, and he heads up the Outback Real Estate Investment Group. John, how are you?
How you doing? Thanks for having me again.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. So how are you?
I am well. I am busy, but I am well.
Okay, tell us about that. Tell us about the group. Tell us about what you're doing right now.
So since the last time I was here, there's a couple things going on. One, the Outback's getting bigger. We're pulling in more members and even more members outside of our 3 core areas of Vegas, San Diego, and Charlotte, North Carolina. We're creating more of a virtual presence. The second thing, the big thing that we have going on is August 4th and 5th, we have the Capital Funding Summit coming up here in Vegas. It'll be held at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino. Okay. And Saturday, Sunday event, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, tell me just, what is it exactly that you're going to do with this summer? Because I know we talk about financing, we talk about it off air, how people are just sort of funneled into a certain way to think about money, to think about financing. Give us a taste of what's going to happen at the event.
Got it. So the background is this. The Capital Funding Summit was designed, or it came up because everybody was complaining, I don't have enough money to do real estate. Right. And they were uneducated to all the opportunities out there for lending, for funding, and for everything else. So I basically went out of my way to gather everything we can to solve all investor needs, and then put them literally in one space where I can teach people and share with people in a 2-day time span of everything that's available to them, so they can be empowered and go buy real estate.
And this is also going to introduce them to people, right? Obviously, the solutions to the question of how you're going to get a property financed is in the person, the institution, however you're going to connect people to those things, which is why there's value in the event.
Right. So we have space for 200 people. It'll be a full event. We're already over halfway done with our registrations. Great. I'll have 15 plus vendors, up to 20 vendors there. And a lot of these people are different services that are for investors, so they can go out there, connect with them, learn about what these vendors can do for them, the services and products available, and then go take advantage of them and go buy real estate with them. There's also a huge networking component there that everybody have a chance to tie into, because this is a people business more than anything else. Right. And everybody kind of loses sight of that. So it fulfills all those needs in one shot.
Well, Las Vegas, small city, right? I mean, it really is in comparison to some other cities around the country.
Yeah.
So the group that is, I guess, involved in this type of investment is probably, or investment financing, is probably equally small or not as large as it would be in like Los Angeles or Chicago or New York or some of the other larger cities.
Well, we're going to have people, we're going to have lenders and people with certain services coming in from all over the country.
Great.
So it's not just focused in Vegas. We're going to have folks in from California, folks in from the East Coast. When I say folks, I mean both attendees and vendors that have services and products for them. So we're running the gamut across the country. I have to bring people in.
Right.
So because people are afraid I can only buy in Vegas, and if you're like me, we buy properties everywhere.
Right.
Outside of the state and everything else. So some people can service certain areas, some people can't, and so I just bring them all together at once.
And the Outback itself, which is kind of the parent of this particular event, right?
Absolutely.
And your it's a mentoring group, really. It's an educational mentoring. It's something to help people who either don't know or do know something or want to network with other people.
Right. It's simply a community that acts as a hub of networking and resources for investors or people that want to get into investing. Excuse me. If you're newer, we're going to take you to the next level so you can get your first property, your first couple properties. If you're a senior, or excuse me, if you're a veteran
right.
To the real estate game, then we're going to take your business to another level. We're providing all those resources to basically take your real estate game and your financial levels up a notch.
Okay. You're ex-military guy.
Yes, I am.
You've got some great organizational skills as well as your risk level is different than other people because of your military experience, your combat experience, and things like that, right? How do you take somebody who is new, who has some risk aversion, yet they see there's money and opportunity? How do you take them from that to somebody who can tolerate risk?
So risk is always relative to what you know. And that is the biggest thing that we'd have to teach that person up front. People think things are risky or they think real estate's risky because they don't know about it, they don't understand it. They don't understand the fundamentals of real estate. If you understand the fundamentals of real estate, it's just like if you understand the fundamentals of any kind of sport that you play, all right? It gives you all the flexibility in the world. You have a strong foundation to operate off of, and it gives you the flexibility to do a bunch of different things. So risk is relative to what you know, and basically I would teach these people the fundamentals of real estate, understand how real estate works, and then it won't seem so risky.
Okay, predicting ups and downs in the market. Obviously there are opportunities whether the market's going up or whether the market is going down. And everybody knows you buy low, you sell high. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of what the whole premise of real estate is.
Absolutely.
How do you educate people on watching the signs in the marketplace to determine what kind of market we're in?
That's a loaded question. So the key things to keep in mind is all markets are cyclical, okay?
Yep.
We all know that. They go up, they go down.
Yep.
All right? The biggest thing to do is keep tabs on the trends in the market so that way you can get an idea if something's about to shift or not.
Right.
All right? And there's many different ways you can go about that depending on what you look for. That might mean that depending on what your investing strategy is, that might mean that you're required to shift your strategy if you're staying within the market once the market shifts, or it's time to move to a different market. All right, with technology, it's really easy to buy real estate anywhere nowadays.
Right.
But shift to a different market to where that still fits your specific strategy if that's what you're comfortable with. So there's a couple different ways to go about it, but the identify what's going on or when do I need to shift is identifying the trends in the market, and that's a whole another segment.
Yes, it is. And that you say that you can shift to other markets, Outback being in at least two other markets that I know of, one in North Carolina, one down in San Diego, California. When you're talking about market conditions, obviously there's local conditions and there's national conditions, right? If there's a recession or a market crash like there was in 2008, well, that affects everybody equally all over the board. Some places get hit harder than others.
Correct.
But if you're in a local market, like let's say the Defense Department decides to up and leave a certain area, well, obviously that's going to be a depressed area because the employment's gone. How do you gauge that, and do you help your investors or people in the group look at what's going on and then, as you said, figure out what they're trying to do and then direct them into a market? How do you do that?
Two things. One, always focus on the micro level, don't focus on the macro level.
Right.
Meaning focus on your local area, don't focus on the big macro things going on in the world. Because it scares the crap out of people and it makes them afraid to buy real estate.
It does.
When you focus on the big piece.
Yep.
So when you focus on the small piece, you have a better understanding of what's going on in your market and you can wrap your head around it, especially if you live there or if you have familiarity with that.
Do you recommend that?
Always.
Working where you live?
Yes and no. All right, I have a lot. Vegas is a highly transient place.
Yep.
I got people that come in from areas all over the place. I had a new couple that came in from New York, from Yonkers, literally, and they're like, "Hey, I want to get into Vegas, but we don't know what's going on." And Vegas is very competitive right now. And I told them, I said, "You guys were born and raised in Yonkers. You guys can still flip in Yonkers if that's what you choose to do." Had an older couple have all the ties in the world to Chicago. All right, and with Chicago. They've only been in Vegas less than a year, and I said, go focus in Chicago. All right, so if you're from here and you have a familiarity with here, absolutely run wild. But there are some people that, you know, if you just got here, but you have bigger ties elsewhere, it doesn't hurt to go there. And I help those people do that.
Okay, excellent. Trust factor is a big deal, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, if you have people coming in, like you were just talking about, to get them to trust you, to understand who you are, it obviously comes with reputation, with your running the Outback, the different groups you're in, and they can go online and see who you are and what you do, and obviously join the group. How do you engender trust to people who just have no idea what they're doing or who you are?
The biggest way, and this is something that I do, and I know not everybody can do this or other investors can do this, but if you're new and I just met you, I will literally sit down for you for an hour and just talk. All right, tell me where you're coming from, tell me what you want to do, and I'll point you in the right direction, whether it means training with us or training with somebody else.
Right.
All right. What I have found that just, you know, me giving time up front endears people to us. It's weird, but it is what it is.
No, I think that's right.
But the most important thing I can give up front to anybody is my time. And if they recognize that up front and we're just having coffee or whatever, and I can say, hey, I understand where you're coming from, you might want to take this in consideration, point you in the right direction, then those people, like, thank you very much, I never had anybody do that, or somebody's going to charge me an arm and a leg to sit down with them for a half hour or an hour, and I just do that up front. And so from the get-go, I think when people are introduced to the Outback and then I have a chance to sit down with them and give them a little bit of time, it actually makes them more likely to continue being a part of us, and it builds that trust. Because I don't have to, I'm not selling you anything, I'm just sitting down with you and telling you where to go.
When's the event?
August 4th and 5th at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, the Capital Funding Summit.
Great. Thanks, John. Thanks very much for coming back on the show, and we'll have you again, especially around the time of the summit. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your voice in the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and thanks for tuning in and watching the show. Great show today so far. Really excited about the guests we currently have on. We try to bring information, people, exciting things to the show about real estate right here in the Valley, buying and selling, representations of either the buyer or seller, maybe funding some capital lines in your business. Yes, we have those experts here today, and I want to welcome both of them to the show. Hi. And with us is...
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, how are you? Is Reed Blake from Business Capital Experts. Reed, how are you?
Doing well.
Excellent. And Alexis Young, she's a real estate agent over at Keller Williams.
Hi.
Keller Williams, Las Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, welcome to the show, and thanks very much for doing this. This is our first time together as a panel, so I want to dive right into it. Home prices are rising in the Valley.
Yes.
And so when we have a lack of housing and we have a demand for housing and there's prices rising, are we looking at a bubble? Are we looking at some kind of a correction? What are we looking at?
Oh, from our perspective,
Yeah.
from an investor's perspective, I would, I guess it's a bubble. I mean, fundamentally everything ends up being a bubble because it goes down, right?
Right.
And we look back and when we look back, we say, oh, look at that bubble, small bubble, big bubble, whatever. But no, we're responding in a very positive manner to the demands of the marketplace.
Okay.
All the new construction growth and everything else that's happening. There's certain segments of the city or sections of the city that are growing, faster than others. But we've got high demand, so we're recovering quickly. And I think it's really just a result of the demand that's happening within the economy. Some people are concerned on our side, funding side,
Right.
that it might be a bubble that will last as long as the new construction centering around the stadium, et cetera, the resurrection of some of the hotels, construction and things like that. But fundamentally, I just think it's just demand based. I don't think that the metrics or the economics behind it are off. What do you?
Alexis, what do you think from a real estate side in terms of what we're talking about bubble? I mean, can it sustain this type? I mean, 12 to 16% last month, a year over date, is really difficult to sustain.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we all know that our market the industry has ebbs and flows, right? That's pretty normal.
Right.
But our market here is very healthy. We are actually voted by Forbes as the #1 healthiest market in America.
Now, when you say healthy, what do you mean by that? Do you mean employment?
Employment, jobs,
I see.
and our education is actually getting better. We have seen growth since 2010 and improvement, so that's good. And also our job growth is also getting better because all of the construction with all of the homes and the Raiders and all of the sports teams and the convention center that they're building, there's just jobs and opportunity. So the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance has made sure that we're healthy and we're sustainable. So I don't think people have as much to worry about as other places in the country. We are overvalued right now, but that also comes with being healthy as well. So would you rather have opportunity for the future or have zero opportunity?
Let me play devil's advocate for a second about these sports teams. Are they really helping the economy, or are they just bringing an element to town which really is going to be more transient? I mean, I need the Knights for a great example. I've been to a couple of games, terrific response. But does it really spurn economic growth, or is it just, sort of something to cheer about?
I think so, because not only for the obvious reasons, the tickets, but also the merchandise sales, the food sales, the alcohol sales. All of the local bars and restaurants are busy when they have games. And now with the Raiders and the WNBA and even the lights and everything like that, it's going to be a year-round type of venture for everyone.
Absolutely. Sports impact, again, the social scientists and the economic folks that study the impact of sports in communities, it's huge. And again, when you get a city like Las Vegas that just absolutely, embraced the Golden Knights.
It's unbelievable, really. When I went to a game, I was shocked, and I'm a Boston Bruin fan, right? An East Coast guy originally. Yeah. When I went in there and I met with one of the managing partners, it was unbelievable. It was like a Stanley Cup atmosphere, and this was mid-February. It was tremendous.
Well, look at yesterday alone with the game. You couldn't go anywhere in the city without seeing people, myself included, with some kind of Golden Knights gear on.
Right.
I mean, the merchandise sales are just off the charts, and in that sense. But depending on who you look at, every dollar generated by a sports fan in the marketplace, the ripple effect, so to speak, is $4 to $7 other dollars in the community, as Alexis pointed out, in alcohol sales. Or, I mean, you can't go to a sports bar, so to speak, in Vegas, anywhere, out in the suburbs, downtown, whatever. It's not packed when it comes, an hour and a half before the Golden Knights game.
Right, last night it was, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So food sales, alcohol sales,
Do you see a spike in demand for business capital as a result of the sports team being in town, i.e. opening up other businesses or ancillary businesses to the team?
Let me break it into two parts.
Okay.
On the real estate side, less so because there are more investors. We fund investors buying properties.
Right.
They buy and hold, rentals, apartment complexes, things like that. So there's not a huge impact, let's say, for flippers. Those kinds of things, not a huge impact because it's not like the sports team brings in more.
Right.
That
Right.
kind of a thing.
That's what I was getting
Now
at.
there might be an increase in multifamily type housing because a lot of these folks come in, do the work for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. They may not put down roots, initially, some things like that. The B side is that for businesses that are that feel more directly the impact, if you would, of a sports team, they may be coming to us, or organizations like us, I should say, for expansion monies, to augment what they're doing, increase inventory, maybe expand their location, some things like that. We had a company come in and they needed it was a $900,000 line of credit in order to expand because of the demand of the workers coming in.
Right.
Not the sports fan coming in, but the workers that were coming in.
Do you think that, like, let's say the real estate around the stadium, the football stadium, is there a demand for that from locally, or is this demand from people who just want to come into town and rent it for a night, a week?
Well, actually, it was a bit of both. As soon as they signed, everything went up dramatically.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy. The Manhattan, so
Right.
it went up at least, I would say, like 10,000 in the first month or so,
Right.
easily. And now they're the most valuable place, I would say, on the strip because the HOA is so low, and it's so close to the stadium
Right.
that your Uber ride would be like maybe a couple of minutes. So that's what everybody is looking for. And all of the commercial real estate down Dean Martin, it's crazy how expensive it is.
Now, let's talk a little bit about commercial, because obviously this is a show that talks about real estate. A lot of it is residential, but the commercial aspect of sports teams and other businesses that come, you mentioned, the convention center is going to be expanded, right?
Right.
Commercial aspects. This is a town that has always been controlled by a very few people who own a lot of the commercial. How is that going to change? We've got about a minute left. What do you guys think?
Well, I got to tread carefully here.
Right. No,
that select group that got in early, I'm talking years and years and decades.
40, 50 years
ago. They
right.
clearly have the advantage. They clearly have the advantage. The reality, though, is big money is big money. Corporate America, whether it's mid-sized cap, they come in, they can play. They can play on that field. But again, it drives up costs and things like that. So you can play, but the people that are already entrenched and have the relationships, the money, they have the edge.
Alexis, last thought?
Well, I do agree, but also we're so affordable here that all of the lower income properties are being developed now. And so I feel like that's where a lot of people can get in, and
Right.
the future is really bright for them.
Thank you very much, both of you, for coming on the show. Didn't mean to step on your
No,
toes
you're
there.
fine.
I'm sorry very much. Anyway, I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We'll see you next time.